Can you tell us about your current work and how it connects to the field of forced migration?
Yeah, thank you. So my work broadly focuses on economic inequality and how policy level interventions can help improve the economic outcomes among the marginalized population. Within that, I have special interest in immigrant refugee population, and I examine how access to financial system, asset building, and institutional support can help refugees to build long-term financial security and the social economic mobility. So recently, I incorporated the data science and the machine learning models into the refugee study, and I apply these models to the national representative data like annual surveys of refugees, and we just got a paper accepted by the JSTOR, and we examined the factors that shape the wage mobility among the newly arrived refugees. So, as an immigrant myself, I strongly believe that solid economic foundation is critical for one's immigration journey, and I hope that the research can inform the policies that can help refugees and immigrants to build long-term wealth and financial security.
Thank you. Our next question will be, what drives your passion for this work?
Yeah, so my passion really comes from my my practicum with the International Institute of St. Louis back in 2016 when I was an MSW student at Brown School. So I work with the Refugee Individual Development Account, the Refugee IDA, if you don't know that. So for those who are not familiar with Refugee IDA, it is a program that was funded by the Office of Refugee Resettlement with a goal to help the newly arrived refugees to build assets through the matched saving. So for example, if you are enrolled in a Refugee IDA program, you can have a goal for saving, like a car or higher education. So when you set a goal and when you save, you will get a matched saving from the program, so that can speed up the saving process. In order to get that matched saving, you have to take financial education courses, job training, and other kind of language training. So I was fortunate and honored to conduct some focus groups with the participants, and I was so impressed by how the participants describe their experience with the IDA project. And they talk a lot about how they benefit from the IDA program financially and non-financially. So it was an eye-opening experience for me. So it directly motivated me to pursue my PhD at Brown School and sought mentorship from Dr. Michael Schraden. And yeah, so my training and my experience really shaped my view on asset building and financial capability. So it's not only about financial education and knowledge, but more importantly about the access and the opportunity for you to build a long-term financial security.
Considering current research and literature on forced migration, what gaps do you believe require further exploration?
Yeah, so I feel that when we study refugee economic and social mobility, we really want to see the longitudinal pattern, right? We don't want to just look at a screenshot about the time when they first resettled. So we really need the longitudinal data that we can track their trajectories. However, so far we don't have the quality longitudinal data for refugees. The only nationally representative data for refugee, the data set for refugee is mostly cross-sectional, which limits our ability to do the longitudinal study. Yeah.
So next question is, what advice would you offer to students or early career scholar interested in this field?
Yeah, so I'm an early career scholar myself, and I strongly believe the importance of collaboration. And I personally benefit a lot from the collaborations with my mentor, my peers, and with students. And I think refugee research really need collaboration, and we need collective efforts by sharing methods, data, and community relationships, as building a trust relationship is not easy for anyone. And for students in particular, I think so if you're interested in refugee study, you have to keep in mind that refugee is a dynamic concept. So refugee experience is really shaped by geopolitics, domestic policy, global economy, and climate change. So to do the good refugee research, you have to stay on top with the ongoing social and political issues so that your research can be really grounded and responsible.
Last question is there a book related to forced migration that you'd recommend it?
Yeah, sure. So I would recommend the book titled Ungrateful Refugees by Dina Nayeri. So that book, the author talks about her personal experience being Iranian refugee, and it also included a lot of narratives from other refugees with similar experiences. So I love that book because it challenges the assumption that refugees should be always be grateful and silent, and that the book highlights the how the system often fails the refugees while demanding them to be grateful. And this kind of expectation is toxic, and it silences trauma, the complexity, and anger. And I think that book is very valuable because it helps readers to confront their own biases and understand the structural and emotional dimensions of the forced migration beyond the policy and the service delivery.
Thank you so much.